Listen up. I'm going to tell you something about your relationship that no one else has the guts to say. You are not crazy, you are not a failure, you are not too sensitive. You are a victim of psychological abuse. And right now, the woman you love is using a playbook of invisible weapons to systematically destroy you. She doesn't need to hit you to break you. She's doing it with words, with manipulation, with tactics so subtle you don't even see them as attacks. Now, before we go any deeper, let me be perfectly clear. This video does not support or in any way promote violence. Our only aim is to expose a hidden reality and offer a path out. This video is for one reason: to help victims of psychological abuse recognize the signs and find the courage to save themselves. It is not an attack on women, it is a defense of men's mental health. Alright, let's begin. By the time you realize what's happening, you're already a shell of the man you used to be. Today we expose the truth. Alright, let's get into it. You need to understand this isn't about occasional arguments. Every couple has those. This is about a systematic daily process of breaking you down. It's a slow poison. Let me show you how it works. It always starts small, so small you might even feel good about it at first. It begins with your fault. You find that everything, and I mean everything, becomes your responsibility. She's unhappy, you're not romantic enough. She's stressed, you're not providing enough peace. She cheats, you didn't make her feel loved, so you drove her to it. Let me give you a real example. Think about the last time you went out with your friends. Remember the text messages? When will you be back? The kids are acting up. I guess you'd rather be with them than with me. You weren't even out the door, and you already felt guilty. You spend your days walking on eggshells, apologizing for crimes you didn't commit, trying to fix a problem that has no name. You are always the one to blame. This is the foundation she builds everything on, your guilt. And just when you're buried under that guilt, the next phase kicks in, the isolation. Now pay close attention, because she's a genius at this. She doesn't scream, "You can't see your friends." That would be too obvious. That would give you a reason to fight back. No, it's much more clever. Every single time you have plans to see your buddies or your family, a massive emotional fight magically appears out of nowhere. It's never about you going out. It's about that thing you forgot to do last week. It's about a tone in your voice from 2 days ago. She times it perfectly, so you end up either cancelling the plans to deal with the drama, or you go out, but you're late, you're upset, you're distracted. What happens next? Your friends stop inviting you. They get tired of the drama, they label you whipped, and they fade away. Your family feels distant. You stop calling them because you don't want to hear "I told you so," or have to explain why you're so unhappy. You are isolated. And once you're alone with her, with no one to check your reality, that's when her real work begins. She'll even love bomb you, saying, "We don't need anyone else. It's you and me against the world." It feels romantic, but it's a trap. She's cutting off your escape routes. Now, you might think that's as bad as it gets, but it gets much worse. She now moves to the core of a man's identity. She takes sex and turns it into a weapon. Let's be blunt. In a healthy relationship, intimacy is a connection. In your relationship, it's a transaction. Sex is no longer about love or passion. It's a reward system. If you fall in line, if you obey, you might get some. If you disagree, if you do something she doesn't like, you get nothing. You get a cold shoulder. You get, "I have a headache." She uses your basic human need for intimacy to train you, like a dog. You end up begging for the basic connection you deserve, grateful for any scrap she throws your way. I've talked to men who haven't been touched by their wives in years, not because of a medical issue, but because it's the most effective form of control she has. She's making you a beggar in your own home. And if you have children with this woman, this is her nuclear option. She knows the one thing you love more than anything in this world is your kids. So she loads them into the weapon. She'll say things like, "If you leave, you will never see them again. I'll make sure they know you abandoned us." They'll grow up knowing daddy didn't love them enough to stay. You are not staying because you are weak. You are staying because you are a father. You stay in that living hell because the thought of your children growing up without you, or worse, growing up to hate you, is a pain you cannot even risk. She knows this. She banks on it. Your love for your children becomes the very chain that keeps you locked in your cage. But here is the most sinister, the most psychologically damaging part of all of this. She makes you doubt your own mind. This is called gaslighting. She will look you dead in the eye and say, "I never said that. You're remembering it wrong. You're too sensitive. You're crazy." You'll bring up a cruel thing she said yesterday, and she will genuinely seem to have no memory of it. She will rewrite your shared reality so often and with such conviction that you stop trusting your own memory. You stop trusting your own thoughts. You stop trusting your own feelings. You start to believe that maybe, just maybe, you are the problem. Maybe you are too sensitive. Maybe you are too controlling. Maybe you are the abuser. This is the ultimate goal, to make you your own jailer. And then comes the masterstroke. The victim flip. After she has poked you, prodded you, needled you for hours, for days, for weeks, after she has pushed you to your absolute limit and you finally snap, you finally yell or you punch a wall out of pure frustration, she becomes the victim. The tears come. She calls her friends. He scares me. She might even call the police. She now has proof. You are the angry, unstable abuser. Your one moment of breaking is used to erase the mountain of abuse she has been piling on you for months or years. She hides her violence by exposing your reaction. It's a perfect, cruel trap. So, let's be clear. The sweet, caring, loving woman you fell for, that was the performance. That was the bait. The real woman is the one who controls you, diminishes you, and hurts you. The good times, the loving moments, those are calculated. They are just enough to give you hope, to keep you addicted, to make you think, maybe if I just try harder, she'll go back to being that person. She won't. You cannot fix her. You need to understand this. In her mind, this relationship is working perfectly. She has all the control. You do what she wants. Your needs are irrelevant. Why would she want to change a system that gives her everything she wants? So what do? You need a plan, not a dramatic plan, a quiet, secret, strategic plan. First, you must document your reality. Get a notebook. Use a password-protected app on your phone. Write down what happened, what she said, the date, the time. Do this not for a lawyer, but for you. When she tells you it never happened, you can look at your own words and remember, I am not crazy, this is real. Second, rebuild your support in secret. She isolated you for a reason. You need a reality check. Quietly reach out to that one old friend you trust. Send a simple text. Hey man, been a while. I might need to talk. You need an outside voice to remind you of who you were before she started breaking you down. Third, get your finances in order. This is crucial. Open a separate bank account she knows nothing about. Start putting even a tiny amount of money away every week. Cash back from groceries, a small transfer from your paycheck. This is your escape fund. You need to prepare for war while you're hoping for peace, because the moment you decide to leave, she will try to destroy you financially. Let me be brutally honest with you. Leaving will be the hardest, most painful fight of your life. She will not let her control go easily. She will try to take the house, the money, and she will use the children as a weapon. She will tell your friends, your family, and the courts that you are the monster. You have a choice. A terrible, painful, but simple choice. You can stay in your cage. You can continue dying slowly every day, losing pieces of yourself until there's nothing left. You can accept this as your life. Or you can choose to fight for your freedom. You can choose to reclaim your soul, your mind, and your life. Staying means losing yourself forever, and that is the one thing you can never, ever get back. You are not weak, you are not crazy, you are a strong man who is being systematically broken down by a master manipulator. It's time to stop playing her game. Your life is passing you by, one miserable day at a time. The clock is ticking. Prove her wrong. If you're ready to take the first step out of the shadows and into your own light, your journey starts now. If this message hit home, share it with a brother who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more truth. Thanks for watching. Know your worth, protect your energy, and I'll see you in the next one.